if you are the Panthers GM, after all the firings that just went down, what is the first move you're making?
Honestly, I'm caught off guard because I have no clue. Because the issue with this is that I'd have to make so many moves I wouldn't even know where to start. Their answer? Like, I feel like, honestly, the Panthers might be the one team that might be in a little bit more of a bleak outlook at this point. And I mean, like, I'm about to make a crazy comparison here because like I said, you remember my rant. The Saints have a very bleak outlook at this point.
Yeah.
When I talk about the future and the age of the roster, Panthers might be just one that actually has like a more bleak, immediate future outlook because there's so many things you have to change. So many people you got to hire. So much culture you have to completely change around now.
No, they are the most bleak.
Realizing your draft class last year was, I'm not even talking about Bryce. I'm talking about everything else too on the right. I mean, it was just last year's draft class. Looking really, really bad. I mean, there's just like, there's so much. They have so much to clean up.
You also have to think about it. Like, they didn't re-sign Brian Burns as of yet. You don't know if this GM's going to be here. After next year, Derek Brown's on the... Derek Brown, his contract next year is the last one.
If you're Derek Brown, why are you re-signing?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like, if Brian Burns leaves, which, if I'm Brian Burns, I don't know why you re-sign there.
The only thing is, I'll say this. If you are Brian Burns, I guess the one thing that would maybe make you feel obligated is in the back of your mind, they skipped out on the 2 first rounders for you, so it's almost like if he feels he's obliged, I would get it. Like, fuck it, man, you guys just give up so much.
He's gonna stay because of their bad business.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing is only certain guys would look at it like that.
Yeah,
but I could see him saying in his head like, you believed in me that much.
It's
like you valued me that much.
I don't even think it's belief. I just think it's incompetence. I think
it's their valuation. But their valuation is incompetent. But
I mean, Frank Reich fired. Miles Sanders, like
what? Okay, so we're gonna go back to this again because this. I mean, if I go back to the comments on that original post, like you really would have thought that I had said Miles Sanders is a nobody who has no future.
Shit,
that I was a Miles Sanders hater. Like, no, hold on. I literally just said that was an absolutely ridiculous contract, and I was right. But you were right too. This is the thing with running backs. This is a lot of fans just haven't come to realize it yet. Like, there's very few you can actually pay without having egg on your face at this point, which is why you're seeing the way ownership groups are going about it. But it's like a lot of people haven't picked up on it yet.
No.
You really, it's very hard not to have egg on your face paying your halfback these days.
Miles Sanders, 1.9 yards per carry yesterday.
It's not even Miles Sanders' fault. I mean, it really is just the O-line is really terrible. Bad. But then on side note, you have Chuba Hubbard playing better, so it doesn't matter. Like, Chuba's going to break a few more tackles. He's still going to play better behind that terrible O-line. Yeah, what was the point?
So Panthers suck, okay? The Titans aren't really much better, but they're a better team than the Panthers for sure.
Yeah, I'd say like about the Titans, I had to give my quick literally just low-key shouts to Nico Autry, quietly 8 sacks in the season. Have to give shouts where that's due. Having a great year, potentially career year. And then, so moving over to the not positives now. Like, this is just another game where it's very evident the Titans need such major offensive core help. Because I had receiving core help written down, but that doesn't justify it. They have a big O-line issue. They have a really big receiving core issue. Both need to be fixed immediately.
Yeah, I mean, besides Nuke, it's really not like a very good environment for a young QB, especially because their line outside of Skronsky is very bare. I don't know. Like, I don't even know, like...
And even with Skronsky, I feel like maybe to an extent he wasn't as, like... I don't want to say not like pro ready because he's definitely pro ready. He just maybe wasn't as dominant this year as you would have expected, having as good of a year as you would have expected. And there's still, you see, like, you're just like, all right, he's going to be good, but we still got a lot of growth. So it's like, there's a lot of things on top of each other.
Derrick Henry, first 2 touchdown game of the year, but it's like, kind of like, I don't know how much you see him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how much of an impact he's really going to be making on the remainder of his contract. And also, like, are you completely convinced that Vrabel is there next year? I mean, not even that he's bad enough to be fired, but like kind of like a mutual parting ways type thing.
No, as we talk about with someone, like if you're an ownership group, you'll be killing to get Vrabel in the door. Kind of like
they can
some vintage Belichick shit on the Jets.
They could trade him.
He said he like got with the group. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk away now. Like our futures don't align. He just goes and signs with someone else.
That's how it kind of feels. No, like I get the vibe that
Bill
like
did.
it just isn't it isn't working. And not that it's like either side's fault right now, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know.
I think this was almost, if you wanted to point it back to something like really big, where maybe that was almost like the first time that maybe there's like where the Vrabel committee started pulling away from the Titans committee, you could say, is remember when they fired their GM a couple years ago, like middle of the season? And it was kind of like abrupt. Everyone's like, what? Like, when, like, why did this happen? It was very weird. It was like a
Tennessee?
Yeah, it was literally like in the middle of the season.
I remember why, because it was a big thing about like AJ Brown. Like they were very upset about how that went down.
And that makes sense. That I'll say that makes sense. Also, on the other hand, ever since that man has been let go, I can say safely the Titans have been on a downward spiral.
Yeah,
Just maybe was Vrabel on that man's side. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about how it was going behind the scenes. I'm just listing it out here. Maybe just I could be completely wrong. I'm just throwing out snippets where just maybe that might have been the start of the fractures.
All I know is when you did their Titans prediction, they were on your head. And originally, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to go with like a sub 500 record, but I was like, you know what? Like, it's Vrabel. The Titans have been up and down, and they've usually picked it back up. But this was just the year where it just was not going to pick back up.
And it feels like, but if you had to pick a side of like, what's the reason? It's like, this really feels like a team where it's different than a lot of other teams, where it's like the offense is 95% of the reason. Like I look at a lot of other teams and it's like, it's very split. With the Titans, it's like, no, dude. Like I'm not going to blame the defense at all. Bad. It's like they have no offense.
I was actually very scared of them selling this game.